So here we are at week 5, and we're looking to complete our DBQ on the Mexican-American War. So by now you should be coming into class with your DBQ finished. You will be looking at your rough copy, we'll do some editing, and then we'll proceed with the peer editing, in which you will make some final changes, and by Thursday/Friday you'll have submitted your DBQ. So here we have an essay that was written about 3 years ago on the Mexican-American War. So we're going to go over some of the highlights of the essay and focus on some areas where it could need some more work. And hopefully that'll assist you in your own writing. So first of all, we have a good topic sentence. This writer has done a pretty good job about doing background. So that would the background being this area here. And the writer does a good job with the background information like a timeline. So this is good. Once they've done that, here's their thesis statement. So notice that the United States was justified for going to war with Mexico because Mexico took the first shot. So basically creating a situation that Mexico's at fault. And the American troops shot back for self-defense and attacked Mexico. So that right there, it seems like it's one thesis statement. Now, as we continue, we go to the paragraph 2. So here is where I expect to see the first thesis statement sentence again. And in a way they do that, but they talk about Mexico, and that's not what was stated in the thesis statement. So I'm already having problems here. Mexican army was justified, Mexico. So this whole statement here, this mini thesis statement here, we've got major problems with it. However, if I think what they're trying to say is talk about the United States, that the United States was justified, then I guess it would be okay. One good thing that they do is they use their documents, and they use them quite well. So this is from, I know this is from document B. This is President Polk's message. What they don't do is they don't say who spoke in the document or where it's from. So that's something you want to do. They go on to explain the document. Why are they using the document, and what are the strengths of the document? And they've done a fairly good job of that here. They talk about this piece of evidence shows. There's a word right there I expect to see. Shows, demonstrates, are all words that should relate to what you're trying to say about the document. So that the second thesis statement, we see that this is from our paragraph, the opening paragraph, and this is about the Americans being attacked by the Mexicans. It's not a real strong thesis statement, and when I look at it, I'm not very impressed with it. So it needs to be much stronger. It should say that the Americans were justified because they were attacked by the Mexicans. Shooting doesn't explain shooting at what. However, once again, this author uses the document in document B. But what I'm looking for are names. Okay, we need to have names of who said what. Okay, but they've done a good job of citing the evidence. Then, as they did before, they also describe or explain this shows or this demonstrates. They use the good language. They talk about how the Americans were helpless. So I'm actually okay with this paragraph up to a certain point. So here's their third thesis statement, talking about destiny. So we assume they're talking about manifest destiny. However, remember, we didn't see that in their opening paragraph in the introduction. So they're making thesis statements without any reference to them in their opening paragraph. You want to make sure that each of your statements is found in the opening paragraph. Now, they've done a better job here by describing who wrote the document. Okay? And here, this is a good explanation of what manifest destiny is. And I actually like the fact that they did a better job of describing manifest destiny here, and they've even went into some deeper analysis. So this is okay, and I'm satisfied with that. So as you review, so we're using this particular item for peer assessment. So first of all, as you look at your peer, whoever you share your document with, first thing we're looking for is background information. This is going to be highlighted orange. That is the first paragraph. As it says, the who, the what, the when, the why, it's important. Next, do they have a thesis statement? Those thesis statements need to be repeated in paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. From that, we go to the evidence. Okay, this is a reference to the documents. If they don't have any evidence of the documents, you cannot highlight anything. They have to refer to the document by title and author. Next, we go to the analysis. So, as I mentioned before, the previous writer who explained the evidence, the manifest destiny, the reasons for self-defense, the claim, that's important. That is highlighted blue. Now, one of the key things that we want to do is incorporate academic language. We have all of these words here. So even if you don't find them, that's okay, but maybe you can make suggestions as you look at the document. When each of you get your own documents, I want you to go through thoroughly looking at how you can use these transition words. So, for example, these transition words, this is where you're explaining. Sources of information. This is where you make reference to the person. What does that person do? How do they talk about the document? So all of these should be incorporated in your essay.